Hey, what's happening? TJ Milam, tjfitness.net. I wanted to give a big shout out to Derek with More Plates, More Dates for really bringing some good attention to sleep apnea. I'm somebody that suffers with sleep apnea. I got diagnosed back in 2017, and hearing all his thoughts about it and getting diagnosed at a really young age, too, and also kind of the stigma where, well, guys are in shape. Well, there's no way that person has it, that man or that woman, but somebody that's overweight has it. I was told when I was diagnosed that it can either be anatomy or overweight. Overweight is usually the easiest to spot, but like Derek was saying, with big necks, I had never thought about something like that. Guys that have huge jack necks and stuff. That's eye-opening to me. Now, I, of course, do not have that, but I'm a pretty normal-sized dude, 180. The way I decided to go get tested was a client of mine told me he had it and said, I'm waiting on a CPAP machine. I got diagnosed. He said he got diagnosed with 77 episodes per hour. So that is less than a minute of actual sleep that his body was getting. That is severe. My case is 11 to 12. It was 11 at the time, and it's still around the same. I've done two tests total. I did one at a facility and then another one at home a year or two ago. But when my client was describing his symptoms about how tired he was all the time. And this guy was overweight at the time, but I wouldn't say significantly enough to cause that severe of sleep apnea. Now he's in terrific shape. He's lost about 30 pounds and looks and feels great. But he was telling me about how he was drinking 3 cups of coffee in the afternoon, not including the morning. He probably had at least one in the morning, I assume. Getting tired on the way home from work, on the way to work, and that is extremely dangerous if you're driving your car and you hit a stoplight and you're suddenly feel like dozing off. Go get checked. If that's the case, go see a pulmonary doctor, a sleep specialist in your area, wherever they are. You can go to your primary doctor first and then get recommended however you need to do it. But if you feel symptoms of just getting really significantly tired, especially after lunch, and that's how I felt, I could not think of anything to do other than go to sleep. It's all I could think about doing. If waking up the day after a workout, a hard workout, I didn't feel physically recovered, I didn't feel like I slept at all. My body felt really tight. My rib cage felt really tight, constricted. I just felt really shitty. Um, but that was what motivated me to go get checked. And so I obviously have a mild case. And so at first I tried these, before I got the CPAP machine, I tried these nostril things that you tape. They're almost like little circular Band-Aids, and you put them on your nostrils, and you can inhale regular, but when you exhale, it slows it way down to keep your airway open. I do not recommend that. I fucking hated that. It was a lot harder to breathe. So the CPAP machine is the way to go, especially for severe cases. And I thought I'd go into. I started with that, and I didn't use that very long. Those nostril things. This is the Philips Respironics CPAP machine. I don't have it all together, obviously. There's no need to do that. You can find them online. Um, and then another really common one is the ResMed. So I was still only, I was still sleeping sometimes pretty well with the CPAP, but sometimes not consistent. So I began to think, what if these machines want to work? They're automated, so the air automatically comes through when you have a 10-second episode of no air coming through your airway, when it senses that you're not breathing, and then that air comes through and blows your airway open. Decided that maybe the CPAP machine is for somebody with a more severe case, maybe say 30 plus, 30 episodes or more. And that makes sense. It wants to work hard for um, the person that needs it really bad. And I only had, like I said, about 11 episodes an hour. So, I mean, sometimes I would just take a nap sleeping on my side or on my front. That way, if I'm sleeping on my front, the tissue behind my jaw is not closing my airway, so it stays down. But if I'm on my back, it's going to fall down over and over. On the side is a little more helpful, but not perfect. So I decided to go to my dentist and get this device here. Comes in this little case, and I'll show you what it's called. Meyerson Sleep Better appliance. So I got fitted for it. It was about $600 or $700, and there were three different levels I could kind of get, three different expenses. This was the middle of the road. So this is what it's like. And what this does is these bands here. Obviously, you get fitted for it at the dentist. It's a lot like it's a tooth aligner, and hard plastic. So it pulls your lower jaw forward, creates an underbite, so to speak. So it keeps that tissue and that jaw forward, and hopefully keeps that tissue from falling down and blocking your airway throughout the night. I personally have been sleeping far better with this thing right here. So I recommend it, and saved me a lot of money. The only thing I have to do about every month or two is replace these bands because they stretch a little bit, and I've kind of experimented with different lengths and firmness, you'll see, but you can get that. That's online. That's pretty easy. But if you have a mild case of sleep apnea, this is great. And I saw that Derek talked about on Joe Rogan that Joe has a tongue suppressor or something that keeps his tongue from falling down. That's new to me. I've never heard of that. So, but just want to share my thoughts and share what I'm using and what's helped me, because I guess you consider me a bodybuilder. I have competed in two competitions, one in 2007 in Los Angeles at Muscle Beach, and another one here in Tennessee. Anyway, that was the end of that. I did two of them, and I'm done drinking so much water all the time and nothing but, and then chicken and broccoli. I just, can't do that for 10, 16 weeks anymore. But if you get those symptoms and feel like we were talking about, go get checked out. Go to your doctor, get a sleep doctor, get a sleep study, and it will literally save your life. Take it easy.